Do you consider yourself strong? Strong enough to face your own vulnerabilities? Think about that. A forgotten warrior from history has 5 rules that could save you, and the first one is gonna sting. Does it feel like your life is in pieces? Like a jigsaw puzzle with missing parts? What if I told you there's a method, forged in the discipline of a legendary warrior and honed by the wisdom of spiritual awakening, capable of rebuilding that foundation? Get ready, because in the times ahead, you're going to unravel Musashi's 5 rules to fix a broken life. Rules that go far beyond the sword, touching the essence of your being. Stick with me and discover how to transform your fragmentation into unbelievable strength. Miyamoto Musashi, a name that resonates with the aura of an invincible swordsman. However, behind his unparalleled mastery with the blade, pulsed a profound philosophy of life, a singular path of self-knowledge and discipline whose echoes persist to this day. The truth is that few people truly grasp the essence that lies at the core of Musashi's philosophy, which far transcends the limits of physical confrontations. His relentless pursuit of perfection was not restricted to the battlefield. It permeated every aspect of his existence, and it is precisely this ancient wisdom, forged in distinct times, that we propose to unite here with the practical and spiritual tools that our time offers us. Personal development, the awakening of spirituality, the practice of mindfulness, emotional intelligence. All these seemingly distinct paths converge towards a primordial and unifying objective, to help you deeply reconnect with yourself. If, at this moment, you yearn for a beacon of clarity amidst the whirlwind of chaos, for a safe direction to follow when uncertainty clouds the horizon, or simply for a moment of respite from the incessant pressure of the modern world, feel truly welcomed. This video was conceived especially for you. Together, we will embark on an exploration of how Musashi's timeless teachings can become the solid foundation upon which you can rebuild a life that, perhaps, feels fragmented. Prepare yourself for an enriching journey of rediscovery, grounded in emotional discipline, the authenticity of your inner truth, and a profoundly renewed life purpose. Miyamoto Musashi, a warrior who embodied stoicism in his essence, left us valuable teachings on the importance of discipline and self-control. However, a question naturally arises. Does this emphasis on strength and control exclude the possibility of vulnerability? In the intricate modern world, renowned neuroscientist and writer Brené Brown offers us a revealing perspective, demonstrating that true strength lies precisely in the courage to embrace vulnerability. Inspiring leaders like herself and high-performance athletes, such as the remarkable Simone Biles, illustrate with their own lives that admitting weaknesses and imperfections is not a sign of defeat, but rather a manifestation of profound self-awareness and unwavering resilience. To illustrate this powerful connection, imagine the figure of a CEO who, instead of trying to hide a mistake made by the company, chooses to admit it openly to their team, sharing the valuable lessons learned from the situation. This attitude, far from weakening them, has the opposite effect. It establishes a more genuine and authentic connection with their employees, strengthening the bonds of trust and mutual respect. Just like this leader, acknowledging your own pain is not a testament to weakness. On the contrary, it is the first essential and courageous step towards healing and overcoming. In this sense, Musashi's wisdom echoes with an undeniable truth: accept hard reality. And a fundamental part of this acceptance of reality lies in fully recognizing that you feel, that there are moments of fear, that failures are inherent in the journey, and that scars, whether visible or not, are part of your story. However, it is precisely by bringing light to these experiences, with full awareness and acceptance, that you genuinely strengthen yourself. Conscious vulnerability does not represent a denial of discipline. On the contrary, it expands and enriches it with a new dimension of wisdom. It enhances your inner strength, infusing emotional depth into your discipline, transforming us into more complete warriors, capable of facing not only the external challenges that life presents us, but also our own internal battles with honesty and renewed courage. Ultimately, conscious vulnerability brings a profound humanity to your spiritual journey. And this journey of self-knowledge and acceptance of one's own vulnerabilities naturally leads us to the next fundamental aspect of Musashi's philosophy, which is intrinsically intertwined with inner strength: the importance of mental clarity, which we can equate, in our time, with the practice of mindfulness. To truly understand the relentless intensity that Musashi applied in his duels, it becomes essential to know one of his most celebrated and formidable adversaries, Sasaki Kojiro. A swordsman of unparalleled and unmatched mastery, Kojiro was widely famous for his incredibly swift and lethal technique with the nodochi, a sword of considerable length, to the point where his extraordinary skill was often compared to the elegant and precise flight of a swallow in his signature strike, known as Tsubeim Geishi. Kojiro led his own respected school of swordsmanship, the Gonryu, and his reputation as a duelist of fearsome competence echoed throughout Japan. The epic confrontation between Musashi and Kojiro on the isolated island of Ganryujima remains an indelible landmark in the rich history of the samurai, a clash charged with palpable tension and electrifying anticipation. We can almost visualize the profound concentration that enveloped both warriors in the crucial moments leading up to the clash of their blades, the absolute and unwavering focus on the present moment, with each strategic move being meticulously anticipated in their sharp minds. This was the physical battle, a duel of exquisite skills and fully focused minds. However, what about the countless internal battles we face in our daily lives? The incessant avalanche of thoughts that assails us, the often paralyzing anxiety that invades us, the constant worry about the uncertainties of the future, or the overwhelming weight of past events that still echo in our minds. These are, in essence, our own internal versions of Kojiro. It is precisely in this complex and challenging context that the concept of mindfulness, the practice of paying full attention, emerges as our most valuable tool for inner battle. Just as Musashi directed all his attention, without any deviation, to his opponent in the physical duel, mindfulness gently invites us to focus our awareness on the present moment, the breath that firmly anchors us in the now, the various sensations that run through our body, the fleeting thoughts that arise and dissipate without us judging them or clinging to them. Buddha, with his profound and timeless wisdom, already taught us that mindfulness is the path to immortality, an immortality that fully manifests in every instant lived with total awareness. How about we experience this invisible sword together for a few brief seconds? I invite you to dedicate just 30 seconds to simply observe the vital air that enters and leaves your body. Feel the natural and unique rhythm of your breathing, without trying in any way to alter or control it. Just observe, with curiosity and gentleness. Just as Musashi's incredibly focused mind represented his most powerful and decisive weapon in the heat of the duel, the practice of mindfulness reveals itself as our essential and indispensable tool for navigating with greater clarity, serenity, and an unwavering presence in the constant turmoil of the modern world. And this ability to cultivate mindfulness, this invisible sword that allows us to face our internal Kojiro, prepares the ground for us to explore the next essential rule in Musashi's journey, which refers to cultivating inner calm amidst the turbulence of life. Musashi, in his profound Eastern wisdom, keenly warned us about the illusory nature of ephemeral pleasures, those that provide us with momentary satisfaction but, in the long run, have the potential to subtly divert us from our true path, from our most authentic life purpose. He intrinsically understood the fleeting nature of these superficial gratifications and the vital importance of seeking contentment that is rooted in something much deeper, more lasting, and more meaningful. Drawing a direct parallel with the intricate web of our contemporary reality, we often find ourselves immersed in the seemingly infinite and seductive ocean of social media. The dopamine rush we experience with each received like, the inevitable tendency to compare ourselves with carefully idealized lives that are projected there, the subtle yet constant anxiety generated by the incessant need for external validation. Social media can insidiously transform into a vicious and exhausting cycle, a relentless pursuit of something that, in its essence, never truly manages to satiate us. Imagine the powerful metaphor of salt water. The more you strive to drink it, the more intensely thirst consumes you. In a surprisingly similar way, the The more time we dedicate to passively consuming the endless flow of content on social media, the hungrier we feel for something genuine, for an authentic human connection that transcends the superficiality of numbers and virtual likes, for a sense of belonging that extends far beyond digital borders. But then, how can we apply Musashi's timeless wisdom in this complex digital context that permeates our lives? Some practical and conscious proposals can help us transform this often unbalanced relationship. The development of intentional use, which involves defining specific times and setting time limits to access the various platforms. A redirection towards active creation, using networks as powerful tools to express our inner truth and share genuine value with the world, instead of remaining merely passive consumers of information. And, perhaps the deepest and most rewarding challenge, the practice of periodic digital fasting, which consists of disconnecting from the virtual world to reconnect more fully and meaningfully with ourselves and with the tangible world around us. This search for a more conscious and strategic use of our energies, avoiding the traps of ephemeral pleasures and comparisons on social media, prepares us for Musashi's next crucial lesson, the art of reacting with strategy and intention, instead of being dominated by the impulsivity of our emotions. Musashi, as a consummate master of the way of the sword, deeply understood that impulsivity rarely led to victory in a confrontation. Mastering the intricate art of combat involved not only an exceptional command of technique, but also the refined ability to attentively observe the opponent, anticipate their movements with insight, and react strategically and calculatedly, rather than being guided by a purely emotional and instinctive response. This same ancient wisdom has a surprisingly direct and relevant application in our daily lives. Mastering our emotions does not imply repressing or denying them in any way. On the contrary, true mastery lies in learning to recognize them in their entirety, to understand their origin and their underlying message, and then to consciously and deliberately choose our response. Viktor Frankl, a resilient Holocaust survivor and a renowned psychologist with profound insights into human nature, reminds us with unwavering truth that, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. We can cultivate this valuable capacity for strategic reaction through the application of a simple yet powerful method, composed of 3 fundamental steps. Number 1. Pause. At the exact moment when a strong and intense emotion begins to arise within you, breathe deeply, allowing the air to fill your lungs and then slowly dissipate. Grant yourself a brief moment before uttering words or taking any action. This small space of time can, surprisingly, completely alter the outcome of an interaction or a decision. Number 2. Assess. Observe the emotion that manifests in you with an attitude of curiosity and acceptance, devoid of any hasty judgment. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to communicate to me? What could be its deepest origin? This conscious and reflective assessment will help you understand the root of the feeling that afflicts you. Number 3. Act. Armed with this newfound clarity, choose your action consciously and deliberately, aligning it with your deepest values and your long-term goals, instead of being carried away by the immediate and often destructive impulse of the momentary emotion. Imagine yourself involved in a delicate and potentially tense conversation with someone you love deeply. Your first instinctive reaction might be to assume a defensive posture or even react aggressively. However, by allowing yourself to pause for a moment, assess the anger that emerges, and try to discern the possible pain or vulnerability that hides behind the other person's words, you gain the opportunity to choose a response that is much more compassionate, constructive, and promotes the healing of the relationship. Always remember this fundamental truth. Emotions are like an internal compass, offering valuable indications about something important that is happening in our inner world. However, they should never become the captain of our ship, dictating the course of our actions and leading us away from our true goals and values. And this mastery in the art of reacting strategically, cultivating inner calm and avoiding the traps of impulsivity, prepares us for the next stage of Musashi's wisdom, which invites us to reflect on the essentiality of living the present moment with total intensity and purpose. With a wisdom that transcends time, Musashi teaches us to think lightly of oneself and deeply of the world. This statement, seemingly paradoxical at first glance, invites us to go beyond the limitations of egocentrism and to find our true connection with something that transcends us, something infinitely greater than ourselves. It is about intentionally directing our attention to the vast universe that surrounds us, incessantly learning from it and, in turn, contributing meaningfully to its flourishing. We can expand on this profound idea through the deliberate construction of an inner island, a personal sanctuary of non-negotiable values, strengthening habits, and a genuine spiritual connection that offers us a safe anchor amidst the inevitable storms that life presents us. This island becomes our solid base, the reliable foundation to which we can always return when the outside world seems to collapse under the weight of challenges. But what are the practical elements that make up this essential inner island? The regular practice of meditation, which connects us with the deep stillness that resides at our core. The enriching habit of reading, which expands the horizons of our mind and gifts us with new perspectives and wisdom. And the generous act of serving others, which reminds us of our intrinsic interconnectedness with humanity and nourishes the spirit with a sense of purpose and meaning. The wise Aristotle already taught us that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, and this inner island is precisely the sacred space where this essential self-knowledge can flourish in its fullness. Take a moment for deep reflection. What is the solid foundation upon which your inner island is being built? What are the values that you consider non-negotiable in your journey? What daily habits strengthen you in body, mind, and spirit? In what do you place your unwavering trust when life's challenges inevitably arise in your path? The construction of this island is a continuous and dynamic process, a valuable investment in your lasting inner peace and in your ability to navigate life with resilience and purpose. And this construction of our inner island, this refuge of strength and values, prepares us for the final reflection on Musashi's journey and how his teachings can guide us towards a fuller and more connected life. Throughout our conversation, we delved deeply into Musashi's wisdom, unraveling how vulnerability can be a driving force, how mindfulness anchors us in the present, how to navigate the digital ocean without drowning, how strategy can guide our reactions, and how to build an unwavering inner refuge. 5 principles that, together, illuminate a path of reconstruction for those who feel life in fragments. Remember that this reconstruction process is not about returning to the past, to an old version of yourself. It is, first and foremost, a journey of self-discovery, an opportunity to reveal your true essence and build a foundation of genuine strength and resilience. If something resonated with you during this exploration, share that light with others who may also be walking a path of transformation. In the comments below, share with us, which of these 5 perspectives do you feel deserves your attention and application from now on? Your experience can be the spark that ignites change in another person. If you felt touched by these words, I invite you to take the next step on this journey of self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue this walk of spiritual growth with us. Leave in the comments your experiences with the science of intuition and how it has been a teacher for your own awakening. Let's grow together, not only in mind but in heart. And if you still want to delve deeper into this process, watch our video, You Fell for IT, and you're paying the price in silence, which will help you understand more about how to have focus and know how to combat lack of direction. Peace and light.